Alright, here we go again with the fun police of Blizzard striking again. This is Bellular Clips. This is July 1st. Damn, I missed a lot of videos. Holy shit. Let's see. Let's see what this is about. What was fun?
Of making an accessibility feature.
The non-accessibility feature, FOV restriction drama. What's FOV? So that's no longer an... I don't know what FOV is.
Players from motion sickness by reducing their field of view, thus greatly increasing the amount of relative motion they see when they
I'm sorry, bro. I legit do not understand how people get motion sickness from watching a screen. I understand motion sickness from playing on like a VR headset. I get that. Like the thing I have over there hanging. Yeah, that VR headset right there on the left, on the right, I guess. Yeah, like, how do you get motion sickness from watching a screen? That makes no sense. It's so weird.
Making them more motion sick. Well, that's what's happened. Here's the deal. There's an undocumented change in 925 that gave us this. You could set your FOV to 120, right? And I'll just show you some.
Oh, field of view. Okay, FOV, field of view.
So, tell you what, actually, if I open these in original, then they'll open like this, and that will allow me to tab through them so people can like really, you know, they can feel the difference.
Yes, and also, if you require, you can also do things like 50 degrees, 90 degrees, 120.
So, here is 50.
Yeah, that's quite
Here
hard.
is 90. This is default. There's where you could go.
120.
Notice it's
No,
like
it's fantastic.
outwards, right? So you can
Yeah.
see more, and for some people, this is a significantly more comfortable gameplay experience.
Yeah, you see everything.
There's also people
I don't see
who
why
of
not.
course prefer this for performance reasons. So currently, Blizzard's way of making you less motion sick is to make you see less. And you see here, whenever you move your camera, it's going to be like, whoa! It's going to be so big. Imagine the difference.
I mean,
between
yeah,
somebody
but
really
so what?
filming something on a wide-angle lens and a really big field of view.
Again, I understand what you're saying, but
Michael Bay
it's on the
shooting
monitor.
something with a telephoto lens. It's, you know, more like this.
Okay.
From really far away.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, Val.
Optimus Prime is going. Apparently, that's what he does.
That's not.
I get to see more. You're gonna have to move the camera more, therefore causing motion sickness. How motion sickness from a monitor, bro? I don't know, man. Like, holy fuck.
It's like
I go, and then you know the camera's moving around him, and you can see like the background. The background is moving at like a fucking trillion miles an hour because of the way it works the field of view. Yeah, it's like why there's quite a big difference between changing how much somebody can see via field of view or via, you know, where the camera is. It's all very interesting stuff when you play around with cameras.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
They are what I'm showing you right here. This will generally, with camera motion, make people feel quite motion sick. Certainly more motion sick than this.
Okay, yeah, because you move
that
less.
Kinda like, I don't know.
You move it less.
Fucking motion, whatever.
I don't know. Like, I assume you would be more less motion sick from this because you have to move the camera less. If you have to move it less, you should be less motion sick.
I don't really know the right word.
I guess.
It's like going to be reduced the more wide the camera is, and then you go like this. And for
Bro, this is fantastic, by the way. Not because of motion sickness, because like you see everything. You see the patrol behind you, man. It's like you see everything in front of you. Like this is great. Except the only thing is that's like it's kind of sucks if you're in the middle of a fight. Like you really have to zoom in because like this is kind of like it's gonna be annoying to see certain things that happen, especially if you're surrounded by mobs. You're the tank and you get like all these mobs on you, which you won't in a mythic. Plus 15, actually 15 you maybe, but 18 and above you won't get all these mobs on you. But if you do, you're not gonna see shit.
some people, this is just a way more comfortable experience.
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
Maybe it's just because I'm used to 90 FOV in most everything I do, but that generally, the 120 FOV does make my head not spin, but I look at it like that looks very
Well, that's because of some distortion at the sides.
Yeah, that's the thing. I cannot stand that distortion.
Yeah, it's so. The thing is, like, you know, it's even, you know, kind of put the blinkers on your own eyes. Humans have got very interesting.
Humans. Oh shit! I lost the battle.
There's so many different things involved in our eyes. But what's the human FOV by default? Like 114 around that, I think. I think Dacker has it in the document. There's like 114, which is close to 120. But obviously you're not
We
like
have a horizontal FOV of 135 degrees and a vertical of just over 180.
interesting. So I don't know where I don't know where you got that.
Wait, a vertical of over 180? There's no way. There's no way I see more than 180. Horizontally 135. I would say I'm pretty close to 180 horizontally. As far as like up and down goes, I would say that's closer to 135. That's weird. Like, what do you mean horizontally? Maybe I'm thinking about this wrong? No, vertical, right? And horizontal. Yeah, horizontally, I'm pretty sure I can see 180-ish, even more than 180. It's vertical, like up and down, that I cannot see anywhere near 180.
That's that from Dr. Witcher.
Well, that is just a Google. I'm sure you'll get different numbers in different places.
Yeah, because I think I was reading that a lot of the point was, well, I don't know if this is definitely not true at all. It hasn't been plugged up, but there was an old thing on Wikipedia about like console games being 60 FOV because you're sat far away from your TV. It's quite small. And then PC.
No, isn't it 60 frames per second? Would it be FOV as well? Maybe that's why I hate console games. Can't see shit and can barely move.
Yeah. And then PC games are 90 because you're like here.
Okay.
Or well, no, you shouldn't be here. You definitely shouldn't be this close. But you know, you're close.
I am that close. Fuck it.
And then 120 is kind of like, it doesn't really work. It works better for
I'm like
stuff. But it is about the field.
this close to my monitor.
Is better for the overall experience.
Yeah, so...
Hand distance. Arm distance away.
If 100 and... I don't know what a... That's just... because I don't have numbers, this is going to be such a sloppy argument, but hopefully it gets the point across.
Good luck.
If 120 degrees of your field, that is a lot of screen. That is like being... Okay.
Yeah, that is you're sitting an inch away from a like 70-inch TV.
Yeah, but basically, like, if a small-ish amount of your field of view, if a large-ish amount of your field of view is being replaced by like a much smaller field of view, but it's like more kind of zoomed in and up in your face, that's just like a level of motion that you're not used to dealing with, right? Like, you know, if you kind of just wore some weird goggles. And
I really do not find the problem. But then again, I barely get motion sickness playing the VR. I got like a bit motion sickness one time. From... What was that game called? Something Sunshine? Or some shit? It sounds kind of flamboyant, right, when you say Sunshine, but it's like... It's a zombie shooter game, right? Pretty damn fun, honestly. Especially when you go into like very dark zones, you're like, oh fuck, man. This gets crazy. But yeah, like the only time I got motion sickness was in that game. For like the first time I played it, and as well as Population 1. One time, but I don't know if it was motion sickness or I was just like too tired and was super fucking hot and humid, and it was too much in that sense. But yeah, like I don't understand motion sickness at all. Like, it's so weird for me.
Why, yeah, playing a 60 FOV console game when the TV's over there and it's taking up like, I don't know, just a few degrees of your field of view, that's like super okay. And then the second it's a monitor up in your face, you feel motion sick. And that's why all of those PC ports that didn't have FOV options back in the day would make people feel really weird and motion sick. And that's why PC gamers generally rally to get FOV sliders in FPSs. Also, in some third-person shooters, which can be really pretty damn bad for FOV. Because it's like, it doesn't seem to impact people as much, and it's like they can almost get away with a tighter FOV. Yeah. But to me, it actually always does make me feel a bit motion sick.
Yeah, there's two things about that as well, which is, one is ultra-wide monitors.
Yeah.
If you have an ultra-wide monitor, you want to support a bigger FOV. Because...
Bro, I wish I had that massive screen, like that goes like this and goes in around you. Bro, I want one of those screens so bad. Only problem is, if I get that screen, because it's not like I can't buy it. I can buy it. I do not have the room to use it And if like I do, but then I can't use a second monitor or a third monitor, so it's gonna be really annoying to do anything. I know you can split that one screen into divisions, I believe, so you get like, you know, that one massive screen can be split into 3 screens, I believe, or something like that. So that can actually be nice, but it's hard, man. It's hard. Should I buy it? Fuck, man. I so want that screen. Oh, that's such a nice monitor. God damn.
It's an ultra wide monitor. There's more FOV. That's
I don't know.
works.
I also don't know if like my video card is supported or anything like that. I don't know how. I have no idea anything about those screens. So
That's literally how it works. Otherwise, you have people with like really weird distortion playing a. Like,
I need to look into it.
90 FOV, you get this.
I would really want to buy that monitor.
To the sides of your monitor. Really
And what do I
stretched
do
out
with these
on the
monitors?
And then there's the other example, which is, and I think this is why there's a little bit of it where.
I can put another monitor here, I guess. Laptop here.
Talk about this a little bit later, but like the reason they don't just go, here's your FOV completely unlocked, and that's because depending on how the game is architected, like with God of War as an example, sometimes it's not as easy as going just change the FOV for it. Sometimes there's a lot of problems with that, and God of War being a game where, you know, the camera's like here, just over Kratos' shoulder, they had to like basically re-engineer a bunch of how they handle camera and some of how they handle controls in the PC port for God of War, because on console, you're looking at TV, FOV fixed, no one complains. Go to PC, ultra-wide monitors, people who like customization, no FOV slider, people go, well, fuck this shit, awful port. Then they went, okay, well, we will make this seamless and work with everything we have.
I don't see a massive reason why that would be a problem with WoW, other than in-game cutscenes.
Yeah.
Those are still inheriting the FOV value of the camera. Now, doing that would be, like, whatever triggers... whatever triggers an in-game cinematic being played, just have that store the...
I don't know why he called this WoW fan police. Like, this doesn't sound like something that's like, you can you abuse it for a bit of more fun, like just vision, sure, but it's like, this is not what people mean when they say the fun police strikes back kind of thing, you know?
The user's current...
Fun police was, for example, in BFA when you could get those experience potions and stack them to get like a massive XP boost. Now, removing that, now that's a fun police, because who cares how fast you level, man? Leveling means nothing. Blizzard admitted that leveling means nothing, right? Like, who cares how fast you level? So what if you stack 20 of those potions for an hour and you get 2000% XP? Who gives a shit? So it's your currency. Fuck it, go for it. You can't do it for all your characters. You don't have enough currency.
Value.
Actually, if you farm on every class,
90,
maybe
cinematic,
on every character you have.
Set it back to whatever the user's previous value is. It's very easy to just store that variable, right? But maybe for some reason they don't have that, or maybe there'd be more testing required, or maybe some weird unintuitive bug that would only happen if you don't really know about if you're an engineer on this game. Very hard to know, really. But the thing is, they kind of did build this as an accessibility measure to help people alleviate motion sickness. Now, this is weird because everything they're saying here is true. WoW shit is all just made like with 90 in mind.
Okay.
And then, like, some people I am sure have a motion sickness where restricted FOV helps them. But I'm fairly sure that the vast majority of cases, it is not that.
Yeah, unless you're 20 miles
and but meanwhile, everyone made it like 120.
So I really do think that this is a misfire. I think you should let people go to maybe not 120, maybe 110, whatever. Let people make it higher. Have a little disclaimer that says this may cause some visual glitches.
Yeah,
there are actually games that do that. Or sometimes you'll see like a reload animation.
You get the error, like an error, like you get a notice or a message whenever you do the VSync on most games. VSync can cause motion tearing, screen tearing, or some shit like that. It's like, yeah, that's fine. Just fucking do that. Who cares?
Clip through the camera. I remember this in some of the reports, but developers realized, okay, we can't do this properly because of how our animations and stuff work. But the players really want this for usability. Fuck it, we'll give it to them. Yeah, it's generally appreciative. So I think this is a complete misfire from Blizzard. I think it's a bit of a misunderstanding. When I looked at Warcraft devs' tweet, like everyone disagreed, basically. Everyone.
Yeah.
People with vision impairment find it hard to ordinarily see the game properly at the default 90 field of view. People with motion sickness are able to actually play the game comfortably at 120 field of view compared to the default 90. People with ultra-wide and large curved monitors find it looks so much better and more immersive at 120 FOV than with the default 90. Yeah, man, bro, like those monitors, I'm telling you. For many people, being able to see enemy mobs and bosses properly in tight or enclosed spaces is much harder and more frustrating with a 90 FOV compared to a 120 FOV, due to all the clipping with the camera on walls, both visible, and props. See enemy mobs and bosses properly in tight or enclosed spaces is much harder and more frustrating. Yeah. Many people just like how it looks and plays at 120 FOV compared to the default 90. The overwhelming majority of players want the 120 FOV option to remain in the game, either because it affects them directly or can understand and empathize with impaired players that literally need this. No. The second part, no one gives a shit about, let's be real. It makes their game better. It makes their gameplay better. That's it.
So this is an obvious.
No one gives a shit about the second part. Many people just like how it looks and plays. Yep. The overwhelming majority of players. Either because, I do not subscribe to the idea that if this feature was to remain, provide some marginal advantage in instance content, that it would automatically be de facto and required. I really don't think that being able to play the game at 120 undermines the art, combat mechanics, and player interactions. Blizzard recently made efforts to help motion sickness in-game via the Motion Sick Peon's magical elixir. Are those who suffer from motion sickness or physical discomfort or pain due to the 90 FOV not important? While not necessarily in the same genre in other games that feature FOV slide... Bro. Are those who suffer from motion sickness or physical discomfort or pain due to the 90 FOV not important? Bro, they are, but it's like... like, who are you catering to? There's like... Out of the 13 million people who played WoW during Wrath of Lich King, I would bet not even 10,000 had motion sickness. Okay.
Well, okay, so here's what's Star Wars said. I don't subscribe to the idea this feature to remain.
I really hate this. I don't even know what to call it. It's like a support mentality or some shit, like where you just like go so out of your way to dictate to everyone how important someone else's problem is to you. It's like, bro, you don't really care. You don't really care. Straight up. It's like, yeah, it sucks. So what? Kind of thing, you know? It's like, life sucks. Get on with it. God damn, bro.
I don't really think being able to play the game at 120 undermines the art, combat mechanics, and player interactions. Blizzard recently made, of course, the motion sick Peon's magical elixir for people who, you know, in Grimrail Depot would feel really motion sick. Well, not necessarily in the same genre. Other games have sliders. There's a spectrum of players who like to use different.
Bro, I swear, if you're motion sick from WoW, I think you just need to change your monitor. Like, there's no way you get motion sickness from WoW, let alone on the monitor. I understand if you played in VR and like it was all around you, maybe, sure, but it's like, how from a monitor, bro? How is that even possible? Maybe your monitor's just shit for your eyes. Holy fuck, bro. I don't know. It's so weird.
Even top-end people, personal preference, and yeah, just do it like that.
A bad hammer that they keeps the fight away.
I haven't. Is this a new?
This is actually pretty funny. That has the Costas. Oh, Ian has Costas. Bro, this is actually... This is a very cool Photoshop. Are those stars or are those weed? Weed leaves.
I've never seen that one before.
This is actually pretty good.
Yeah, this is... You know what? This is like... This feels more fun and less like in bad, you know, bad humor than some of the other ones. This one's fun. He's like a cheesy police officer. That's fun. Okay.
I kind of love this.
I like Police Ian. Police Ian's funny. There you go. Of course.
Oh god.
Yeah. That part. Yeah.
Warcraft devs, why are you guys still so opposed to allowing individuals to define their visibility? I get that it can trivialize and make things harder for the encounter team and possibly open up some annoyances elsewhere, but as it stands, the current 90 feels too cramped at times. I agree. Thank God he's not talking about the other shit, but like, yeah. So what if it makes some stuff more trivial? It's not a big deal. Honestly, you can just lock certain FOVs for certain counters then. Hey, Warcraft devs, please don't revert the FOV change. It allows people with vision issues or large monitors to see the game more comfortably and allows players to see the game in a better view. A change like this has been asked for ever since you reduced the zoom out distance, which is, again, I hate that they reduced it. Doing, like, flying over Stormheim with max distance on your camera and max view, oh my god, was beautiful. Like, you could see Dalaran while flying in Stormheim, and like you see everything. It is just so good. Andrew Brew and Warcraft devs, I have really bad vision issues. I have the biggest cursor imaginable because of it, and this change was so nice for accessibility reasons. It doesn't provide obvious game-breaking advantages to my knowledge. Please let us have it. Warcraft devs, not everything needs to be fixed. Please leave it.
Yeah, apparently there's Aspros and Azeroth posted this.
But why you accidentally made a good change? Try keeping it since people actually like it.
Not everything needs to be fixed. Please leave it.
Yeah.
What is the cost?
Yeah. Fix your game, but not this one.
I'm going to throw my voice in with everyone else and say this seems like a bad call. If anything, this should be added as a slider in the options so it's accessible for the people who need that access. This is the problem though. Like, the reason they removed is not because of the accessibility. They removed because people were abusing it. Like, who cares if about the accessibility? They probably know that there's almost no one, like very small minority that suffers from this. An overwhelming majority of the player base prefers 120 FOV to 90 based on direct player feedback from both the reversion tweet and Wowhead. Why not let us keep it at 120 even if just for the remainder of Shadowlands and go from there? Big disagree. The increased FOV makes the game feel way more fluid and alive for me personally. Really unfortunate. Don't understand how this is in any way an accessibility feature then. LOL. If the default is 90 and the max is now 90, what accessibility is added with this feature? Do not fix this. The max of 90 is bad. Gives motion sickness, migraines and eye pain frequently because of how much stuff is moving nowadays. The max should be 120 or even more even. That would be an actual positive change. As someone with an ultra-wide monitor and someone with friends who are vision impaired, hard capping the FOV at 90 is infuriating. Please don't go through this. No way. I call bullshit. And someone with friends who are vision impaired. Visionly, I guess, impaired. The game once again constrained by decisions made in 2003 with monitors that ran at basically.
This is just what would you say, a random selection. Really.
No, this is a perfectly selected cross section of the community as chosen by Dakor.
That's it. We have applied our rigorous tweet selection methodology. That's it. We are. I mean, we're. I was going to make some YouGov joke and it wasn't coming.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
This is the best part. Because he's not here to defend himself, I can say whatever I like.
That's it. Basically, the point is.
Yeah, what's the point?
My dude's Blizzard.
It's my dudes.
A little disclaimer would be fine. I mean, look. Actually, you don't even need a disclaimer. People are doing this via console command. And it's not part of the game's UI.
Yep.
I think it's basically a given that this could cause a few technical issues. And
just a few.
On playability, I mean, I can agree with him that there's an informational kind of funky thing going on. But also, some of the way that WoW is designed, and I especially how some dungeons just feel so crowded. For me, like, just having a more clear picture of everything would be kind of like, oh.
Yes.
You know, it's not like in an FF14 dungeon where it's a fucking corridor.
Yeah.
Whereas in WoW, sometimes it's, they're really big and the camera, a fucking fence comes and your camera just goes boom.
Yeah.
And you're like, ah!
It hits you in the back of the head.
Tree! No!
Yeah.
In some other games, your camera will go through the tree.
Yeah, the
And won't just go.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
It's like the fucking camera stabs you in the back of the head, and then you're fucking dead.
I know, but like, yeah, there's like some instances where the camera just like goes through an object, and then sometimes the object is like as if it's the same object, by the way, like it's not like it's a different object, the same object, just in a different scenario. The object is more is like as if it's like solid, so then it's like the camera shifts with it instead of just going like see through it, which is really fucking annoying sometimes. Yeah.
Maybe loosen up some of those restrictions. Like, okay, here's a usability thing.
Whoa! Don't point at me. Don't point at me, Bill.
Dudes.
Yeah, my dude. Don't point at me, Bill.
Outline feature. Good. Or the like the little outline feature. Have a camera setting that will let the camera go through a certain set of doodads or models, whatever. Have that, right? Because see if I go through a tree, to me, from like a level of comfort, a level of immersion in the game, and just level of like wee jankiness.
Yeah, the trees.
Far more comfortable if I just get a little soft outline of my character.
Yeah. Yeah, or and
let it be an option.
Or what's done in The Sims is just transparent to fine outline the tree. It's like that's
more work though. You need to get a shader for that and everything. Whereas like a simple outline shader that will be just kind of on top of things in the drawer, there's like real simple.
Yeah, just fucking do something to stop this problem of, like you said, people being stabbed in the back of the head with the camera.
Yeah, like there are other MMOs where this is less of an issue.
It is annoying because I will say, like, because I know a lot of people, me included, will complain about Halls of Atonement, because the end of Halls of Atonement, actually, Sanguine Depths as well, basically both Realm Death dungeons.
Oh god,
they are the most anti-camera nightmare shithole awful designs, and I can understand why they can't just have the camera go freeform, because you'll just see everything that they're trying to hide under the surface and the world and clip the world. That said, it doesn't stop the flight path from doing that for you sometimes, but it's that thing of, I appreciate the design of the dungeon, but it does have an impact on camera stuff, and it's like, at least have the decency to restrict mobs to like a couple of mobs, maybe ones that don't have super tight like I guess positionals and stuff, like the Deadly Thrust in Sanguine Depths at the end, because like your camera's bugging out, you're trying to dodge and you can't see shit, you're like, it's a bad experience. This is gameplay design, fine, but not fully holistically designed for someone to go into it and play, because you're like, well, I can't see, I just got hit by 3 Deadly Thrusts because my camera is up my like bare tank's hole. You're like, fucking hell, can I please see something, anything please? But there's also there was what was it? Brain kicking the gear. It was the talk that Max was having with a bunch of different people. I can't remember all of them now, but like Mythic rating, Mythic Plus and stuff like that. And there was people talking on Twitter about just remove, or just because it's like the informational thing, the informational density of World of Warcraft. It's like, why is every mob got to do a mechanic? Why do you...
Bro, straight up, why? Why is there a mechanic for every fucking mob, man? It is so annoying. World Quest, this guy has fear, this guy has stance. Like, bro, why? It's like, who cares? It's like, oh, it adds immersion. Bullshit, it doesn't add fucking immersion, it adds annoyance, because I just want to do my quest and get the fuck out of there. It's like, fuck, man. Why is every mob in a dungeon has a mechanic? Why? There's no reason. Just have some trash mobs, just do auto attacks and then have the mechanic ones. Like, oh, it adds difficulty. Bullshit, you just develop a tactic for it. And if you didn't develop it, it's like you just die first. It's like, it's uncalled for difficulty. It's not hard to deal with, it's annoying to deal with. Right? It's like the bears, right? Like, take the bears in Halls of Atonement. It's like, well, all you gotta do is like make sure they don't enrage. If they enrage, just get the fuck out of there, right? It's like, but why is the mechanic there? It's like it doesn't make it harder. It just makes it annoying. You just have to run around like crazy for a while.
You need to
Or bring specific classes like a druid or a hunter for them.
have either auto targets or like crazy shit going on, so you can actually click through the 47 mobs you've pulled, because that's how what a pull is.
Yeah, yeah,
To try and see the one that's actually casting.
yeah.
All
That's
the
super
top
annoying
players
as
don't
well.
capture. And I feel like there's a little bit of. Can we have less mobs? Maybe some less mechanics? Not to say make it easier. Just some less mechanics, so it's not a. Because I think this is the worst. Like, the number one sin in video games is player wants to do X. The X is the outcome they want to achieve in the rules of the game, in the game world.
Yeah.
And the problem they have is with their fingers or the UI.
Yeah.
And they're like, can't
Okay.
do what I want. There's a part where some of that becomes skill, where, you know, you're playing a fighting game, and obviously it's like, I want to do my max damage combo. Well, fucking, you know, good luck. But in World of Warcraft, that feels like a really awful thing. Especially when you keep in mind all the default keybinds.
Trying to like
and the UI
think
being
exactly
so
what he
scuffed.
means.
Are you looking over all of the screen at once? I feel like dungeon design sometimes doesn't completely take that into consideration. Whenever there's 4 mobs trying to cast at the same time, you're like, how
Oh,
do I click them? Do I press tab 3 times and press my kick?
yes. So
Do I
like stuff
trust
like
it? Do I
that,
need a-
stuff like that is really annoying. To the point where it's like, I'm sure there's a weak aura that's just like, as soon as one mob casts, you get like an extra target that you can click, which is that mob or some shit like that. Like, maybe there's a weak aura for that. But it's really annoying. I remember trying to interrupt a certain mob and just like, it would not click that mob. It was like in between all the mobs. My mouse was like, I could not click it with my mouse. I was trying to tab through it. You hit the tab one too many times. You have to do the tab cycle all over again. It's just, yeah, it can be a pain in the ass, yeah. It's like, yeah, you can say get good. You know, it's like, it rarely happens, but it happens. And, you know, the mob cast, it's not like it's a wipe, it's just annoying. It's like, let's say it's an AoE heal or something. It's like, it's annoying. Same with like explosions. Like explosions, I believe you can't even like, you couldn't, now I believe you can, but you couldn't tab target explosions. You had to manually click them. Why? Why is that a thing? Why do you have to manually click the explosion? Like, you know, weird shit like that. It's like, why is that in the game? Like, for no reason other than to be annoying.
Second to visually verify based on the selection.
And speaking of explosion, man, fuck that mechanic straight up, because you need to bring certain fucking classes with like either fast cooldowns for their abilities, or like super fast attack speed or some shit like that. Like honestly, Beastmasters are probably like the best at dealing with explosions. Like, there's explosions, you might as well bring Beastmastery hunters, or I think it was Frost Mage, as well as a Druid healer, because it just puts hots and just can DPS. It's like, it's just annoying to deal with. It's like, you have to really think about like who to bring on certain weeks, and it's like, that's not good game design. You know, you want to kind of be able to bring everyone. Everyone should be able to deal with it. Red Paladin, for example, cannot deal with explosions very well. You can't. It just sucks. They avoid, like, you can't AoE them. You have to like single target them. Your damage is like, depends on your judgment, really. So it's like, that's not happening, right? Who else sucks at it? Well, honestly, kind of like all paladins. Holy Paladin's kind of okay because it's instant heals and you can just like attack and stuff. But it's like, you know, warriors are like Fury Warriors are great for it. By the way, you can pretty much charge at it almost like indefinitely. Who else is really good at it? Rogues not really good at it. Assassination rogues are not really good at it because they're dependent on like their charges. Outlaw I think is okay with it because outlaws just like generate like crazy. Fire mages should be fine. Elemental shaman suck at it, I believe. It's like they have one instant cast ability, which is like doesn't that much damage, not enough, and it's like it has a cooldown, so it's like it's not like you can just like shoot it at every fucking explosion that comes up, right? Demon hunters are good at it, mostly because they have 2 buttons, so they have to deal a good chunk of damage, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's like fuck explosions, and honestly also fuck storming. But yeah, rant over.
I don't know. And that might just sound like casual moaning. Some of it is, but it is just annoying. Like, can I do this now? No, fuck you. Your fingers are failed. The game UI is failed. Awful. Awful.
Awful.
That was a fucking rant, man.
Yeah, that was a good one. It's a quality one.
What talking about?
Cameras. God,
Yes,
like have cameras not just been like the freaking infinite topic in games.
No.
Like they've generally been got right now, but like don't you
Yeah.
remember when, like a new game would come out and one of the things would be
Generally gone now
is the
because
camera.
I've never heard
A
of
lot
it.
pretty good games have been ruined by a janky camera.
That's
An interesting topic.
it weirds me out every time I go back to play Super Mario 64 because I will largely play with the PC port because it's so
Okay.
good because it's got the 60 FPS stuff. But one of the like mods that's included in by default in one of the builders is an improved camera
Okay.
because that game doesn't have a camera that you can freely control. It's got like positional snaps and degree based snaps based on like the C button you press because they didn't have a second stick at that time. They had
Okay.
the C buttons. And playing that game with bad camera is like playing a completely different game, and it fucking sucks. It's still a perfectly great game. It's just the camera makes it so much worse than when you have a good camera that you can actually control. And it's crazy how much that like general usability stuff happens. Oh, fuck this. What was it? Yeah, it's even the camera in Scarlet Nexus, which obviously that's a very modern game that was released in late 2021, middle 21, and it has a field of view and a general camera setup that is just slightly annoying. And like, Bandai Namco, you've been making fucking 3D action games since around the time I was born, probably. Alright, well, there you go. We've just had a...
Oh no, I know what it is.
Okay, yeah, we just had a technical malfunction, let's call it that. Well, I guess
Okay.
more of a physical malfunction. But,
Yeah, that is
No.
the power of using adapter screws for things.
yeah, absolutely. Oh, you maybe hear people...
That is some incredible
That's it.
outdoor noise. I'll
Yeah.
take I'll take the fucking microphone
Yeah.
for a walk.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, I was talking about, Scarlet Nexus and the camera there, just being like, this game would be so much more fun if the camera didn't suck. If I could actually move it a bit better. What is it? They have the lock-on swap is hold R1 and tap the right stick to the side and it'll snap to someone else, and it's really, really grim. It's really grim. Oh, yeah, look, let's get a...
Not really having that much luck.
No, okay,
This is all just.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really tight. I actually got pliers for that. Balls.
Oh dear. Oh, show me what that is. Let's see, can I do that?
Bro, this happened to me, like something similar. Yeah, it's pain in the ass. Mine, however, like had the whole thing come out. Like the screw that's holding the metal pipe thing, it just felt like it just broke or some shit. I don't know. It was like very old screw or something. I don't know.
This life?
Like my super old stand.
Okay. Oh, unfortunate. Okay.
Goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye for now. Let's see what. Yeah, I have nothing more to say about Scarlet Nexus and the camera. I just think cameras are really, really annoying. But these people have them, right?
It is what it is. But yeah, anyways, I don't think the FOV thing is that big of a deal. I don't think it's a fun police thing. FOV 999. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but I mean, yeah, it is what it is. I think I saw this. Like, yeah, I don't think it's that big of a deal with the FOV. Most people who are using it are not using it because they actually need the motion sickness. Like, I would say it's like you probably have more trans people than you have people with vision impairment playing WoW. And it's like both of them are like a substantial minority. So yeah, it is what it is. Like, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't think it's a fun police thing. But yeah, that's pretty much what I think about it. I don't think it was that important. But at the same time, if it wasn't that important, I don't think Blizzard should have done anything either, right? So on to the next one.